What's up, everybody? I'm obesetheprophet, host of the Prophecy Podcast. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're having a great night. Start the show off as usual. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Thank you to MPC Stuff. We're proudly sponsored by them. They do have hundreds of replacements, upgrades, and all that for your MPCs or other Akai machines. They got fast shipping and quality products. I stand behind them and their products, and I respect our partnership tremendously. So, also sponsored by I Regret Nothing Apparel, which is a small black Maine-owned business, and we support them wholeheartedly. They got great apparel. They got social messages, which is always great, and we stand behind them 100%. And yeah, obviously our smoke break segment, that's always brought to you by Fire and Ford down there at 367 4th Street in the heart of Portland, Maine's Old Port District. Ultra fine cannabis products and a super friendly and knowledgeable staff. They provide you with all your medical cannabis needs. Just remember, you need to go in there. Be sure to check out Elevate Audio Visual. We have rebranded. We got music videos now. We do any kind of social media promotion, SEO, advertising, 4K aerial drone footage, 4K music videos, whatever, movies, whatever you want to do, we could do it. And yes, obviously, last but not least, Bars Over Bars. Everything here wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for them. So yeah, we want to thank them. And yeah, without further ado, let me introduce the co-host. This Justin Martin, my cousin Justin. What's up, cuzzy?
How you doing?
Hey, doing good.
What's
doing
up, party
good.
people?
What's up? And so we had a guest scheduled for tonight. Obviously, life comes at you in different ways. They ended up not being able to come through tonight, and so I got someone I know and have known for a long time to come fill in. Rize, great artist. Eric Andrews, great, artist. He's a producer now, photographer, videographer. I mean, he does a lot of things. He's multi-talented. And yeah, without further ado, let's bring him on into the podcast and welcome in Rize. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
What's up?
So just getting out of work. How you doing?
Yeah. Good, man. Glad that you could fill in for us tonight. Yeah, we had some, last minute cancellations, and but yeah, we want to get you on the show anyway, so might as well, get into it. So normally on the show, when we have a guest, first thing we like to do is just a little brief introduction, so everyone can know, who you are, where you're from, what got you, what you're doing as far as projects, music, are you producing, whatever. Just let people kind of know where you're at and where they can find you and shit like that.
Oh, yeah, man. So I go by Rize. I've been making music in the area, Southern Maine. Was born in Biddeford, raised Portland mostly. And then I'm back in the Tri-Town area now after a couple years in Florida, working with Dizzy and a few people from Black Universal Music. We did stuff in Anderson Paak's camp with Sly Piper, a couple big artists. After working on an album with you as my producer, and I think we did a pretty good one back then. Right now, I've just been kind of working, man, behind the scenes, trying to, keep music going, man, and not worrying so much about putting it out yet, but starting to kind of come around to like how I'm gonna market it.
Hell yeah.
Forever, so we've been watching, learning, trying to get our own style, incorporate our own shit into it, which was a lot of fun because it used to be that I would have less control over what I wanted it to sound like, and now I can kind of like have a little bit more autonomy with that. And yeah, where you can find it right now, I mean, we're gonna work on recording this year, and I had a website, rize8.com, but if not, on Facebook, RIZE8. That's it right there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That album that we did was 2015, I think it was, and
yeah.
for me, it was seamless. it seemed like I had given you the beats, you had gotten everything ready. I came down and we recorded shit pretty quickly. So
yeah, I pretty much rehearse everything before I hit the studio. I'll have
yeah,
the track ready to go so that I'm not wasting time. Because if you're gonna like pay for that time, then I mean you should go in with a plan and like ready to
yeah.
execute, you know, and not write. And like if you have to do a rewrite in there and if something comes to you, that's one thing. But I always
Yeah.
had trouble like freestyling on the spot, you know, and you know that too, because you know I can freestyle with the best of them, but when I'm in the booth, I don't like that, you know, because
Yeah, because you
I
want it to
got
have some consistency. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You
you
want to
don't
kind
want
of
to do
keep the
dub
topic
overs
right.
on doing dub overs on a freestyle is not gonna like come through at all, or you know, there's a few elements where it becomes iffy. So yeah, I apologize for my camera, man. I just got a new one. This thing's kind of all over the place right now too, but
No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, so basically, we move on now. Usually we do like this strange news. I don't know if you got any strange news. You said maybe you didn't, Justin, but I have a couple. I have at least a couple stories I can talk about if you don't have anything.
I got a couple things here, but go ahead.
All right. Yeah. So, first thing I want to mention is this is weird, but science, right? So, endangered species, shrinking penis size and sperm counts threaten reduction. So, this is science, right? Pro, no more annoying kids in public. Con, humanity might go extinct. Right? So, I'm gonna go. We brought you this website. We had talked about this global sperm bank, right? Weren't you talking about this?
Yeah,
We
it
were
was
talking
last
about
week. They're trying to shoot it to the moon.
right, exactly. So we had talked about that global sperm bank. They want to, do it to the moon, whatever. But if they're really serious about that, they better hurry up though, because the existence of humanity is facing an unprecedented threat. In just a couple decades, our ability to make babies could be seriously hindered. So, based on a 2017 study, human sperm counts have plummeted 59% between 1973 and 2011. So if you look at the curve on sperm count, project it forward, which is always risky, it reaches 0 in 2045.
That
Okay,
ain't
which
very far away.
I don't know if that's possible, but I mean, if you just keep on trajectory, obviously they're saying that's what happens. So in 24
So
years,
they're saying
what?
no more 2045.
2045, you don't even need to get a vasectomy. Just wait it out, all right, and you'll be good.
It's just gonna dry up.
I guess I have no idea. Well, the sperm count will just be low, so just the
Okay.
sperm are dying
Oh,
off.
okay.
They're not,
Gotcha.
they're not liking, they're not vibing with being in the testes anymore. They want out. They free the sperm. All right. So it's concerning to say the least. They go on to say lower sperm counts aren't the only thing threatening human reproduction. It turns out the dongs are getting smaller too. So, in addition to the disappearing dongs, the rates for erectile dysfunction are going up at the same time as global fertility rate is going, down. So, to me, and they go on to say that, could it be chemicals? Could it just be we're altered, we're evolving in a certain way or whatever? To me, I mean, this has been the trend. I think there was a study done when I was just coming out of high school, must have been 2003 or 4, where they were like, this was a trend then, and it's still continuing on. So, like, is it chemtrails? What is it that's actually what's happening here? Is it what we're eating? Is it just the environment? I know, Eric, you touch on this on music that you've made. Matter of fact, I think, and I have too, about like GMO foods and like how we're poisoning the children and all this other stuff. I mean, what are your thoughts on what could be causing this?
oh man, so many things, but it's tough to call. I mean, we don't have long-term studies on anything right now. There's a lot of new things. Like you could say nature is cyclical with the global warming thing, but you can't say what vaping is going to do to your lungs after 40 years because we haven't had anybody vape for 40 years,
Yep.
That, you got cell phone towers now, which I have no conspiracy theories about those, but frequencies are frequencies, man, and I'm sure there's something to it. Could be nothing though, acoustics, it could be like music going through your ears, it could be inconsequential at the same time. So you never know, man. It's gonna be something we have to kind of wait and just let it play out a little bit and do our best to keep up doing good work. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, I mean,
because there is going to be a lot of shit. I mean, you got sodium in processed food. You got that's one of the worst things.
Saying.
I mean,
how can you avoid a lot of the shit that they feed you?
Alone, our diets alone will keep us. I mean, so our obesity rate in the 1960s was at like 12%. Now it's almost
everybody was skinny.
Now it's almost 40% in America. I think that's a global killer, man. I mean, you look at our country, like that's what's killing it. One of the biggest things, man, is salt, sugar, cigarettes. I mean, shit, soda. Fucking Nas said it in Poison, man. That song. Remember song Poison? Rize?
Yep.
It's a lot
Poison
of preaching in that I thought was really on point, man. You know, it's everything's convenient, but nothing's really good. And
it's hard to move away from the system we've set up to be accepting of all of that shit. So like, being cool with the synthetic and everything that's being put into our shit and just being like, yeah, whatever, let's approve it. I'm not with that. But obviously something that we're doing between 1973 and now is causing issues, and it seems like we were being heavily industrialized in the 1960s and 70s too, and we weren't regulated either as well. So I feel like a lot of bad shit went on for a number of years until they cracked down, and then it was like, what could have been done before that? That's still leaching out. Plus, you got Fukushima. You know what I mean? That's still leaching.
Chernobyl. All them shits.
I think
radiation can have a motherfucking effect on all kinds of shit. So
what's the most powerful frequency, right? I mean, that shit.
Radiation. Yeah, and then all the cell phones, like you were saying, that's another great point. Is, I mean, goddamn, 5G. I don't know anything about it really. I just know it's faster or whatever. But just towers going up everywhere, and you can't really escape them no matter where you're at. You just got a fucking tower absolutely everywhere. So it is what it is. I guess there's no way of avoiding it. Do you have a strange ass story or what?
Yeah, so this could be related. I don't know if you guys heard about this Oumuamua. It's like it's this weird. It came from outside the solar system, and I guess it was like a comet or a chunk of some planet or some shit. No, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So Oumuamua is a Hawaiian word for scout or messenger from afar. And this thing came from outside the solar system. It's the only thing we've ever known or ever observed to come outside of the solar system and enter our solar system. And, people were freaking out. This was back in 2017, I think, when they first saw this thing.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah, and people have been coming up with all kinds of theories, like, it's an alien, technology coming to spy on us. It's, it's an alien spacecraft that, a derelict spacecraft that just kind of is floating out in space, some shit like that.
Shit.
Yeah, but it turns out Oumuamua was a piece or a shard of a protoplanet. How they know this, I have no idea. But they're looking at
a planet is what? As a protoplanet?
So it's like a very young planet that's not technically a planet. A lot of times it has, a liquid or kind of viscous surface. They do end up, because they don't have quite the orbit around, their star. They do have a kind of a strange orbit and tend to smash into other objects. So they're saying that this this was a shard of a protoplanet that's just kind of smashed off at some place and then just happened to be floating around in space and entered our solar system here. But there was a big group of people that thought it was some alien technology and were very concerned about something out there that we don't understand. And this could be possibly, our first contact. It has been proven that is not, in fact, a piece of alien technology. I'm just reading here. They discounted it because it doesn't have any propulsion. It can't project itself. It can't maneuver. So it's on, a straight trajectory from wherever it came from. So it's not like maneuvering around and flying per se. So they've kind of discounted it as an alien ship or technology or anything like that. So I found that interesting, and I've been reading up on that just because of the theories that were attached to it. And I was like, what the hell is this? And then reading up on it, there's a lot of scientific fact and research out there that has proven
Pappy.
that has proven it wrong.
Yo, my dog, man.
Lucifer, what's up, dog? We see you in there. Dustin Duso, what's up, brother? If you're still in here.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's the OG homie.
Hell yeah. So I got another quick little one, too. So Panda Express charged for bizarre sexual building seminar. There's no promotion worth going through what this lawsuit alleges. By a 23-year-old employee, the lawsuit lists Rize an utterly delightful list of charges. It included sexual battery, a hostile work environment, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. In addition to the Panda Restaurant Group, the lawsuit lists Alive Seminars and Coaching Academy as a defendant. Let's take a look at what supposedly went down. Aiming for a promotion. In 2016, somebody was up for a promotion. The store manager told the plaintiff she needed to complete a mandatory self-improvement seminar. At the seminar, she was told that she needed to learn how to perform fellatio, do other things, so that I wanted to gain a better position within the company. And they did near naked hugging exercises where they'd strip down just their underwear and hug each other, like weird shit. And they were making them do it, or they would lose their job. I just wanted to point that out. We don't really have to discuss it much. I just thought it was fucking weird and hilarious that Panda Express, which I enjoyed many years ago when it used to be at the mall. Yep. I mean, it still is at the mall, food but court. I like Sarku better. But they probably have the same cultish type of thing. Probably the same. It's not super salad or anything.
Owned by the Panda Group, I bet.
I'm surprised they even have meetings with Panda Express.
Right? I thought they just threw hot fucking food at each other and screamed all day.
You got to meet about
at the meeting, man. Like that's
just meeting about. I have no idea.
Normal course, like the orange chicken doesn't have enough oranges in it this month.
Hey,
the game up.
More oranges.
More oranges than the orange chicken.
So Rize, man, let's talk about your first ever projects that you released. That were actually like recorded down. Like I know you were doing features for a while before getting to do that album with me and stuff like that. And I know you probably had releases before that, right? So why don't we talk about those early projects and what was heavily influencing you when you were making those?
Oh man, so I grew up under like TTC pretty much. I was like the little kid in that group. That I don't even know, man. Like Little Romeo with No Limit or something. Like it just was always there, So like seeing Wise Sean, Sam Smeed, and Ryan Page, and yourself, and Eric Mayo, a few people. It's like people in our town. And at first it was like hip hop was some faraway thing, like you hear it on a CD or you see it in movies. But then like all of a sudden it was like people in my neighborhood were doing this and they were really good at it too. It wasn't like it was authentic. It felt real, So I knew right around that time when I first heard them that that's like what I was and what I wanted to do, no matter what I looked like, that's how I felt, And that's pretty much been the journey. So I went to group homes. I got in a lot of trouble and I got kicked out of York County. So my PO sent me to Portland and I, went through YA out there. That's when I was riding the metro home to my group home on State Street one day when I got a message on my phone. And Sam Smeed had just gotten out of prison. I'd never met him. I only heard him on CDs. And he was rapping my verse to me in the voice message. He was like, word for word, something I had recorded back in the day. And I just remember my mind was blown. I was like, what the that's like a humbling feeling, when somebody you used to look up to was just acknowledging you. So then from there, him and I, back then he was getting beats from you, I think.
Mhm.
And he was like, "Yo, you gotta write, you gotta do this, you gotta." And he come pick me up from the group home and buy me 40s and shit, you know. Again, he was like just a kid. I think I was 16 back then, and we did lounging. Remember lounging?
Yep.
That was our
Still
joint.
have all that shit.
Yeah, we did all those back then. And
Mhm.
that's when everybody was like, "Yo, you're really good at this," and I thought it sounded good too. Everybody was hyped about it. So I just enjoyed doing it. It wasn't even about like, oh, let's like go become millionaires or get signed or something. Because like around here,
Yeah.
like I've never seen that happen. Like nobody I know, you know what I'm saying? Like just starts rapping and gets picked up and goes away. Like most people do it because they love it, or it is who they are and like translates, And that's kind of
Yeah.
the fun part is a lot of this art is lost art. The best shit is probably lost art, And it might end up being us, but at the same time, like you keep trying and you don't stop because the best advice I ever got was from somebody that did make it, and that was in Florida. The guy Sly Piper, he's on songs with Eminem, Royce the 5'9", writes for Dr. Dre all day. They literally had a studio session the day after I interviewed him on camera. And he gave me this advice, man. And he said, like, the difference between me and everybody else, and he's 40 now. I think he's about 40 or so. And he said, I didn't give up. He goes, "This the difference between me and everybody else is they started working day jobs." He goes, they thought this is it. I can't do it anymore. And that's kind of when I decided, like, no matter what, if I love doing something, I'm going to try to do it, I thought that was one of the best pieces of advice I've ever got from anybody. And that's a dude that's signed, and made it. So it was good advice, but he was saying that it's not going to be easy and it's not going to happen right away. If you love it, work hard and give it time. And that's
Yeah.
the most important piece that I
I think fucking measuring your success is subjective. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah,
what's
it's
success to you?
well, if you paint a picture, you're an artist, you look at the picture, you love it. Do you even want to sell it sometimes? I mean, it's like pouring out your passion is hard for artists, man. I know a lot of people like really talented painters that don't even like selling art because it's like
Room
then
for art.
suddenly it goes from something I did out of love and care to something I did to like
money.
profit from,
Yep.
And that's it's interesting to see because there is good shit from people that just wanted to profit, and I'm sure there's people that didn't care so much that suck at making music, and it's interesting to see that. But I did like to see somebody that had made it through the game actually have some piece of advice on perseverance and that it's man, because we've been doing this for how long? I mean, and it's not like somebody just comes along and changes things. Like you are the one that's creating this the whole time, And I think
you just gotta keep creating.
I think you've been a good vehicle for artists, man. Whether it be this or making beats or having a studio, to like just help people have a voice, man. And that's like big ups to you, man. So.
Yeah, well, I there was times, and if we want to talk about when Sam Smith first got out of prison, that's the first time I met him too. So my whole experience with Tri-Town was, with Sean or Eric Mayo or Ryan Page, that was TTC to me, right?
Yeah.
So, but to them, TTC was with Sam Smith too. He was included, but to me, I didn't know him. But then when he got out, he was like, boom, I was hitting him with beats. But I didn't have shit. I was living homeless, couch to couch, just making beats on other people's computers and not really having shit and living that grind, thinking that like you said, just not having a 9-to-5, just doing the artist fucking thing or whatever.
Yeah,
kind of was the grind for me. And
it's a hard life.
It was like 5, 6, 7, 8 years and really nothing happening. And I took a step back, was able to kind of reevaluate and figure out how I could make this work for a different phase of my life. You know what I'm saying? And moved into that. And then just from there, it was really learning that kind of helped me take that next step, learning about, I think, just going to college in general and being able to learn all that general shit that you learn there and then take your electives. Like I was taking like political science and music classes and shit like that. And just getting a better knowledge of just life in general. I'm not like saying you need to go to college because you don't. But I just think that for me, being that I was like 27 or something when I decided to finally go, that's when I was ready. You know what I mean? If I would have went when I was 18, like people wanted me to, I just wouldn't have made it. I wasn't focused, and I didn't have the. It's not that I wasn't smart enough. It's just I didn't want to apply myself to that. I wanted to apply myself to music, and I didn't want anything to get in the way of that. And I figured that was that. When I was 27, I applied myself to music, didn't make it, and I'm like, all right, I can apply myself to school now, and I could probably do good at it because I'm not an idiot. You know what I'm saying? But I just felt like that kind of expanded things for me. And then that's when I started building myself up. You know what I mean? So I'm able to do things, and then when I had kids and a wife and everything, you settle down and you start having goals and you work towards shit. Which when you're almost bouncing from couch to couch and making beats on everybody's computers, just trying to make a dollar, try to get your name out there. You're not really, living for yourself. So
yeah, I mean, you guys said it. Like everybody's got their own path, and all the preconceived notions of what success is and all that stuff. If you love something, you'll work hard enough to make it come true.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
And then there's things in life you get thrown a curveball and you do the best you can and you push through it, and then shit changes once you make it through that hardship. Mm-hmm. You might see the world a different way, and you might have a different route or a different path than you originally thought.
Yeah, definitely things can change your fucking path, and that's a huge thing. Definitely have ups and downs and shit that happens, and how you handle it, I think, is a big thing too. People can handle it one way or the other, and I mean, there's millions of ways you can handle a situation, but two outcomes, good or bad, really, if you break it down. But let's move on to. Usually we talk about favorite unexplained phenomenon. I know that we talk about this weekly, so for us it's this subjects that we naturally gravitate to. So when we have someone else in, we like to hear what maybe their favorite unexplained phenomenon is, such as what is it, Bigfoot, is it alien, something that you could really get behind. Like if there was a show about it, you just would fucking binge watch it. You know what I mean? Whether it's conspiracies, like you were saying, is it fucking ghosts, zombies, fucking Bigfoot? I don't know. What is it? What is it for you?
Oh man, I'm a sucker for ancient aliens, man. Anunnaki and all that shit, man. Yeah, anything with the old Mesopotamian, Anunnaki, Mayan disappearance, that shit's cool, I guess. Mm-hmm. I mean,
what are your thoughts on the ancient alien theory? Is it a solid enough theory to make you fully commit to it, or are you kind of like on the fence about it a little bit? You just think some of it is good, or are you 100%?
It's crazy because here's the crazy thing is like I've got faith in like kind of newfound faith too, where it's like I believe in God and everything, but aliens are just so hard to discount, man.
Yeah.
It's almost like, how the hell do you say that's not real, or like something behind it when you know so much about physics and astrophysics? And like you said, in college, man, I was taking classes I didn't think like a kid coming out of the group home and having a GED, going to a community school straight into physics. I mean, I hadn't been in like public school in like 10 years, let alone
that's huge for you.
Going to physics and astrophysics, and I'm just like, what? And it became kind of like a fun lifelong pursuit of like, what is this? What is the truth, and what is life even? And is life something that is naturally occurring randomly, or is this some kind of design? And we always come back to that. What image are we made in, and all these things where aliens are almost well documented at this point. So it's cool, man. Right. Like we're piecing that story together as we go, and it gets crazier by the day, it seems. That's cool, I guess.
One thing about ancient aliens, if I do mention, they recycle a lot of shit. They like redo it in a different way, and they recycle it for episodes and shit. I feel like maybe if you watch the first like 3 to 5 seasons of Ancient Aliens, you probably got the basic gist of everything that they were going to talk about. Because Eric Von Daniken and all those people who were writing those books, like they wrote those books in like the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and the stuff that they wrote that's newer is just basically recycled versions of that. And with the release of the disclosure of all the UFO records and sightings and stuff that the military had seen and, disclosure. I think that what they're saying, they don't really have to say much more. You know what I mean? They have their evidence, and then it's backed up by whatever reports the government have released now at this point. So really, it's almost like it's a factual show in a way. It's like, hey, there is aliens. Do we really have physical proof, like, for everybody to see, like at a fucking museum? Not yet. Will we someday? Maybe, if we are able to fucking stay alive for that long, as a species on this planet. I mean, it is what it is. Like, when it boils down to everything, you know what I mean? Like, aliens could have put us here, like, as a test, and see, hey, how's it gonna go for these guys this time? And we could be like on our 10th fucking try on this shit or some shit. I don't know. There's always some weird fucking theories when you start talking about aliens and why they would want to come here, and if they ever came here, what did they do, or what are they planning to do? It's just like so many what ifs. You could probably go on for days talking about what the fuck could possibly potentially happen. But I think the most solid theory would be they've come here. They want to know more about us. They don't want us to know more about them, kind of deal. Yeah. Because, I mean, if they did, it'd be easy to come down and set your shit down at fucking Times Square. You know what I mean? Be like, what's up? We're here.
Mars attacks.
Right. What's up? We're here. We noticed that you guys are fucking idiots. Now, this is how you need to do it.
No, right. If they're traveling
that
through,
just all reminds me of Mars attacks, man.
We'll kill them with the music, bro.
If they're traveling through space, they're definitely smarter than us. And if they wanted our planet, they would just come take it. But we ain't gonna do anything about that.
No.
You know the technology that they're working with.
Yeah, they could just easily take what they wanted. So that's the other conundrum. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Why haven't they? Are they beyond war? Are they just straight peace? Like they just fly through the galaxy and it's just all peace for them? I don't understand. Is that how it goes?
Distant observers. They're just watching. They want to see what happens.
So, like, would we do that? Let's say we had the ability and we're like, all right, we've been to Mars now. We colonized that. Now we're going to branch out. Let's go out of our solar system somewhere, and we're able to do it. Is that how we would approach it? We're just going to pass by a planet and be like, wow, that's a nice looking planet. I think we'd land and try to take that shit because that's just how we are as people on this planet.
I think you're right.
I don't feel like we could be passive in the thing. We want to land at minimum. And if they were hostile in any fucking way, I think we'd try to be hostile as well,
Well, what if these particular creatures, have enough? They haven't damaged the planet. They live in, in harmony or, in unison with their planet. They have the resources that they need, and like they can afford to kind of watch us destroy ourselves,
without helping
and learn. Yeah.
What not to do. Yeah.
I mean, maybe we're a fucking reality TV show for them. Who knows?
I mean, that's some crazy ass shit, but yeah. I have no idea. So let's see. I'm gonna check that thing. They knew giant squid existed for centuries before they had physical evidence. Yeah, that's true. That giant squid, they were like, we know that, but then until they actually had one. But it's the same for like Bigfoot and shit. We don't have one of them, but we think that they exist. Think we have proof. But another theory too, I was reading about, was the theory that Bigfoot or Bigfoot's energy could just be residual energy from a time when Bigfoot did exist, right? So, like, think of it as when someone's a ghost, if they're residual energy, you're able to see it, you know what I'm saying? And that presents itself like an entity of some sort, but that's really just some energy passing through this whatever that stays there and just kind of goes on like a loop. What if that's the same for like Bigfoot? They used to inhabit these woods or something, and the energy of when they did, maybe they are extinct. You see what I'm saying? That was a theory I was reading about. I'm not sure if I buy into it too much, but
interdimensional Bigfoot.
Yeah, it's basically like the ghosts. They're not alive. They would be like a ghost would be, like a spirit. A spirit of a Bigfoot, because they're saying that Bigfoots, all in all, if they were, they probably could maintain a relatively cognitive mind where they might have, like we do, a conscious, like we do, like a conscious mind, unconscious mind, whatever. Just because or whatever, if they existed. This is what they were saying in the article I was reading. So it just makes you think a little bit, out of the box when thinking about it. Like, All right, so you're thinking you're looking for this physical, animal, and
Right.
people are saying they can't ever fucking get it. Maybe this is why, because either like interdimensional or just an energy that you can pick up sometimes. Like I was watching Expedition Bigfoot a couple days ago, and they had, FLIR cameras in the fucking woods, and I mean, you could see shit lighting up, and you could see where someone had leaned up against a tree. And granted, this could all be just done for show. You know what I'm saying? But these guys are out in the middle of fucking nowhere, and they got these heat things, and you could see where someone was leaning up a thing, but they could never find it. I mean, they had people that they're saying I could see them on the camera, the heat signatures, but they never came across them. They're there, and they try to get over there to and nothing's there. There was somebody like a heat signature behind this guy. He got up and walked towards it. It disappeared, and she was watching on another camera and telling him, "It's right in front of you. It's right in front of you." He gets there, and you could see something was there, and it was crouched, right, just a little orange dot. And then all of a sudden, as he got closer, it stood straight up, and it was huge. And then it disappeared behind the tree, and you never saw it again. And he got over to the tree and he said, "Nothing's here." And she said it disappeared. And it was pitch black, so he really couldn't see. He turns around, goes back, and sits down at where he was sitting. And she said, "It's back again at the tree." And he had walked around the tree, and he's like, "There's nothing over here." And he was like, with the camera over on it. It was just wild. I'm like, "What the fuck, dude?" And so then they, I started reading about it and shit, and I saw that article about the interdimensional thing, and I'm like, that makes sense. And they started talking about it on the next episode. So it's like, I think that might be a thing. Like, if we're gonna talk like fucking Bigfoot or whatever, or conspiracy theories or weird shit, we got to mention that the Bigfoot interdimensional, theory or whatever. Strange indeed. But yeah, so we got top 5. What do you got? You got a top 5 that you had mentioned? You had a list or something?
Oh yeah. So I was thinking about this the other day, and I had come across something Ghostface had posted on his Instagram. Yeah. And I was thinking of Supreme Clientele in particular, because that's one of my favorite albums, but it's one of the most slept on albums, I feel like. And so my top 5 question would be, what are your most underrated or slept on albums?
That's you, Eric.
Yo, I couldn't actually hear what he said that time. It was like he was muted, I think.
Can you hear me now?
For some reason, I can't hear him talking, so I was just making sure.
Can you hear him now?
Can you hear me now? I know my streams are,
what's the
all
question,
fucked.
Though? Yeah, I can't hear him.
Top 5 most underrated or slept on albums.
My bad.
Top 5 most underrated albums. Your top 5 most underrated albums of all time.
In hip hop?
It doesn't have to be
any album.
Any genre.
Okay. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking Talib Kweli and DJ High Tech's the Reflection Eternal. That whole album was nuts. Everything from the production, the cameos. They had Nelson Mandela do a cameo on that joint.
Yeah.
Like Rick James.
Yep.
Let me think. So then I got Sticky Fingers, Kirk Jones. The autobiography of Kirk Jones was, I thought, just like a movie and a CD. That was dangerously slept on. And trying to think about other albums that weren't like well known. Like people know about DMX and 50 Cent and all that. Shit. I'm trying to think. Hold up. I still got 3 to go, and I'm already like, I don't know. Shit,
yeah,
man.
It's always tough questions when we do top 5s.
I don't want to. I'm not gonna pass. I'm just gonna throw out like a couple more. Ones that I jam out to that other people don't. I got all the Outkast CDs, the old ones like Aquemini. I think Aquemini, but everybody loved Aquemini, so that's a big inspiration for me. That I carry into the modern day. Like I still listen to it like it was dropped yesterday. Yeah. Sometimes it's nice to do that. Okay. And then I got Rich Boy. Rich Boy first album was that was amazing, actually. I gotta say that was one of the best commentaries of the South in hip hop that had been done. when you get past the throw some D's on it, every other track has substance and content, and the production was all Polo the Don. Polo the Don is like just fucking amazing. If you ever know, he works with like Fergie too, but like mostly hip hop, and like he linked up with Rich Boy. That was good. So I'll call that my third. Shit, man. I'm under the gun. Let's see who else. Who else dropped something and kind of man, I got 2 to go. All right, fuck. I got Talib Kweli, right?
Yep.
Then I got Sticky Fingers. Then I got Rich Boy. I gotta get 2 more. They gotta be good too. Fuck, man, shit. I always like CNN. Capone and Noriega. I would say the War Report. Well, that was not a lot of my friends had the War Report either. So CNN was a big one. And lastly, I always fucked with R&B a lot. So I'm gonna go with Blackstreet's first album, man. That's what I lost my virginity to. Yeah, man, R&B is my shit. I don't know.
That album is a classic album too. They had some. Oh man, they had some ones that you didn't hear that weren't like mainstream on that album.
It was before No Diggity. There's the one right before No Diggity, and then right after that was when they got huge. But man, they were like, let me just throw Blackstreet in the mix. That comes to mind. Nobody I knew really liked R&B in general, so I could put any R&B out there and it'd be like, "Who the fuck you talking about?" But,
definitely.
That was big for us, man.
That's definitely a nice little list. What do you have anything for a top 5, or that was the one?
That was the one that I was thinking of. I mean, we could always go with the tried and true, favorite records or favorite producers.
Can you hear top 5? Can you not hear him any still right now?
Yeah, I can't hear him, bro.
So what we're gonna do is are you in a browser? You just want to refresh your browser, and you'll come right back in.
Let me try refresh.
And Justin, do the same, just in case it's you, and just pop back in.
Sit tight. Yeah, I know my stream's been.
You sound good to me, so I don't know.
Okay.
It's been acting up, so. Restream. Thank you. We appreciate your restream. Fix the shit.
All right, here we go.
All right. I had him refresh too to see if we could fix the audio issue. You can hear me good though, right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I just couldn't hear him.
Okay, let's see.
Hey.
You hear him now?
Anything? Nothing. Nope. Shit. All right. Well,
weird.
Weird. I guess you'll have to act as like our translator.
I'm your translator.
I'm sorry, man.
You can use the private chat. Use the private chat. If you have to, say something now, just use the private chat for now. We're near the end of the.
Let's test it out. See if you can see my private chat messages.
Top 5 rappers? Is that what?
Top 5 rappers.
Yep. I could throw that one out. So, I new people. I fuck with Pop Smoke, man. I really liked Pop Smoke. The guy had the like gangster crooner thing going on, like Frank Sinatra, but like a rapper. Like that shit was dope. I'm trying to stick with a few young, like newer, because I mean we all know I love Kendrick Lamar. That's always gonna be one of my favorites. Man, it's a lot, man. Honestly, I kind of like NBA YoungBoy. He's got a good flow. Who else? Substance-wise, new cats aren't exactly like the same. Like they're not like telling the same kind of stories, but they're still good music.
Do you listen to Logic?
I like Logic. I do like Logic a lot. Yeah, I'll throw Logic in there. Shit, it's like man, I listen to everything now, so it's fucking me up. I'm just like, I literally like went from like, because now that I sample music and make beats, I'm listening to like fucking the doo-wop era every night, trying to find like I'm not even listening to shit anymore. But I'll always have a spot for, my Big L, you know, Big Pun, the old school New York, Nas, Jay-Z. I think Nas and Jay-Z could just go in there automatically with Tupac and Biggie, and then throw, you know, who else I threw in there? Cause whatever. I mean, the top 5 is one of those barbershop conversations, man.
Right, and it can change it all the time too. Like depends on who you're.
It's like every time I get a haircut, it changes a little bit based off what I was playing in the car.
Word. So when you're not making music or working, you know, your 17 jobs or whatever, what do you like to do for like non-musical hobbies? I know you're into like photography and videography and doing that, and I want to kind of touch on that a little bit and how and let us know also, like, you worked on some shows, right? You were doing some stuff for some shows that were like on what channel? Just let us know about that.
Oh yeah.
And then we'll get into your favorite non-musical hobbies after that.
So I was an actor on the History Channel. The Discovery Channel. So it was on Unusual Suspects as like a featured extra one time. That was like the only acting experience I had. And then I did Discovery Channel. We did Downey's Dickering. I did that multiple times for multiple months. I used to kind of work with the crew from LA, pick them up and be like the local liaison, literally do everything. And anytime they would come film, I'd be the guy that would pick them up, bring them to the hotel, carry the gear, PA stuff mostly, running footage, but kind of learning the ropes. Like they had $100,000 camera rigs, and so then I worked for the Discovery Channel on that, and then I worked for the History Channel on that one, and then I worked for the Food Network doing Restaurant Impossible in South Portland. They did that episode, and I pretty much ran the crew from out of town. They were from Philly, doing a thing called Shooters was the name of the company, and they basically had like 3 circus tents full of, like, one tent would be like upholstering shit, and then one was like all film gear, and one was like, you know, talent and makeup and doing shit like that was cool, man, because then it went down to Florida, and I did a lot of jobs in Miami and in Tampa. I did BMW's cross country model at Bike Week at Daytona in 2018. And then basically just trying to do like stuff on my own now. I'm learning that marketing is more valuable than shooting film. But it's good to be able to shoot too. So I went to school for that and tried to make that like my life, and it's tough. So what I'm going to try to really do is get the whole production company finished, where you can shoot a video, market it for a company, like any company that needs a commercial or web presence or things of that nature. Once you get enough money, then you can, invest in the technology. But the problem is the technology goes so fast. People buying cameras now, like, them shits ain't cheap. And by the time you get used to your camera, they release a new one, and it makes yours like not irrelevant, but I'm still working with one that's 10 years old, and it's still good enough, but soon enough it won't be. And that's when you got to go, okay, I got to get, my money back up. And that's a tough business to be in if you're not really making money. And Maine is not the best for marketing. It's a tough place,
Yeah, so it sounds a lot like what I'm doing with the Elevate right now too, doing a lot of video shit, and SEO marketing. And I'm taking an online course through Coursera that'll get me a Facebook digital marketing certificate through Facebook, so I'll be able to do it's social media. It's like a 20-week course or whatever. So I'm in the midst of that right now. So when I'm done, I'll have a certificate, and I'll be able to know all the SEO shit for Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, everything, so that I'll be able to actually start pushing, like you were talking about, marketing. So I can do, like you're talking about, music video to marketing to put it out through whatever channels. We're trying to do a bunch of shit through Bars Over Bars too, like hip hop documentaries. We're trying to get edited, filmed, whatever, with local like New England rappers to try to get to like Amazon Prime. You know what I mean? And let's talk about too. You said you were an extra in one of those shows, but there was a short film that you did too, right? With Jimmy Jennings.
I've done like the lead role thing, but that was our student film. I wrote that, and then I wrote another one as an intro to a student film. Where I like wrote it, starred in it, shot it, edited. I mean, I didn't sleep for like 3 months on that one.
No, but that movie, the short film or whatever, did come out. It was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I thought when I saw that, I'm like, damn, this is dope, and it kind of got me thinking in that fashion where I remember reaching out to you like, yo, let's do more of these, and I never really materialized, as far as that's concerned. But moving forward, not yet. Yeah, moving forward, I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to do that movie thing. But seeing you do that kind of what sparked me into thinking like, I thought of myself as a character in that moment. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, you know what? Even as myself, like being myself, I feel like I could play a character in a movie. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I want to try it at least. Like, you think it's art in a way. Like you were telling me before, it's art.
Imagine getting to write yourself as a character in a setting and in a story. I mean, it gives your imagination a whole new life, man. It's cool.
Yeah, and my thing was this. The way I want to do it is like storyboarded improvisation. I don't know if you probably know what that is, where basically your storyboards are pretty much open scene. I've heard Seth Rogen talk about it and Will Ferrell, where they just like give a basic idea of how the scene is going to go, and then the actors just improv so that it's completely natural. So how you would handle the situation, don't try to act like someone else, be yourself. So if you would come in and you'd be like, what's up, motherfucker, like just let that come out.
Just do it.
Yeah. Improv is hard, shots. And improv's hard. Acting is more of a talent than I realized, and it took for me to get on screen a bunch. Like you always think like I'm just gonna be natural and I'm gonna look good on camera. You know what I mean? Like I could get ready and get on camera and know I'm gonna look good, or I could just jump on and be like, I like tonight. Like I fucking don't even know what I look like right now, bro. But I didn't care. I was like, let's go do this because this is good, man. This is what I wanted to do tonight. I've been wanting to do this, so. And having a movie is great because it's a vehicle for creativity where you can insert your music. You get to be the narrator's voice. So you get to say all these cool little wise things during, like,
that stuff you mentioned is exactly,
all dramatic.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
And you get
putting the music in, talking, putting it all together as a whole package. Like, I want to be involved in that. You know what I'm saying? From flying drone to building to filming, editing, fucking acting in it, all of it. You know what I'm saying? I just want to try my hand at all of it. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel right.
I had a lot of help when that happened. The guy I filmed with in Miami was in my class, and then Tony Stanley. I don't know. I think you know him. We were a trio on that. So, without a team, man, I mean, they had 2 stories about their lives, and I was like, look, I'm right out the group home. I'm like, this is my actual story. They're like, yo, that's actually way better than ours, but let's mix it up. And I'm like, yeah, man, cool. And they were so cool about it. They were humble and weren't like, my ego was probably running wild back then, and now I'm more like, it's less about me and more about what can I capture, but back then it was like, I need to tell my story, like, and they helped writing it. So we did note cards. A lot of that shit you were talking about improv, where you kind of set up your structure, your story, you know where it's going, but it comes down to like having talent as an actor, man. It's a thing. It's like rapping, man. I mean,
you have to commit.
It's like freestyling.
Some people are really good.
You gotta
at
be committed.
They can do it, and the thing about it is, if you practice it, if you learn your lines and learn blocking and know what to do when to do it and timing, and but then you're actually like the goal is to like draw emotion out of a human, which is really fucking hard when you're trying to do it. Like you can do it in a natural moment. Like if you're really upset and you cry and your wife cries too, that's one thing. But if you like went in and you both know that you're trying to make her cry, it's so much that gets blocked because it's not natural and you're trying to make it natural, and then not everybody's good at doing.
You got to stick to what the people are good at. If you're not an actor, you can't have them doing scenes where they got to bust out crying. I mean, that's just not
it's a talent, man, and I learned that it's like I had to become good at that, like I was at rapping, and I'll never be as good at acting as I am at rapping. I don't think I'll ever be as good at anything as I am at rapping, man. But that's a challenge too, because like I don't think I'll ever make any money off that shit. Or if I
You could,
do,
you could just fucking freestyle for hours, bro. Like, I think you probably do on your free time. I bet
I
you freestyle
do.
a
No,
lot. Yeah,
I started
because
the
it comes so
TikTok.
natural.
Yeah,
So
it
like,
is.
you know what to do.
It's nothing to just make music. Like I could do a whole album in my car on the way to
Mhm.
work with an instrumental CD, and it is. If somebody was there to record it, I would have had 100 albums by now.
Yeah,
I don't remember any of that shit. I go home and I'm like, all right, I got it out my system. And now I'm like, all right, you got to capture it. You have to like actually go write it, go create
Yeah.
something. And the fun now is that the music's done is that I'm thinking music videos now.
Yeah.
And once you know you pass that, you can think photography, graphics, and like you said, it's like a vehicle for everything else. And that's why
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
really love this shit, man. It's never
Yeah.
gonna go away from me. I mean, I'll get old. If I have kids, I'll teach them how to make beats at least. I mean,
Hell yeah. Speaking of beats, that leads us into a good segue because I want to talk about your beat making. And right now, it's actually time for the smoke break, which is brought to you by Fire on 4. So I'm going to load up a dab. You load up a
Bag of
bowl if
carts,
you got some
man.
weed, whatever you're going to smoke on here.
I just buy
And
carts now, man. It's professional.
I want you to just kind of go over the beat make process with us. I know you're relatively new to the beat making process, but
Yeah.
how has it been for you? How's the learning curve been going from just rapping all the time to kind of making beats? Were you ever getting into the beats before this, or did you kind of just dive headfirst into it all at once? Or just let us know a little bit about that. I'm gonna pack up a dab here. I'm listening. You feel free to do the same, of course, during the smoke break. So let me know though.
Yeah. I'll do my thing and then I'll run my thing. But yeah. So back in the day, I got like a matching account through the group home. They did this like financial literacy class, and I was like 13. And you go to Norway Savings, and they teach you about financial strategy, and they give you this matching account. So I'm in the group home, and I was like, that's cool. So I wanted to save $500 so that they give me $500 on this matching account. And I was gonna take that thousand and buy a laptop. So this is like the whole thing back then. And I went through all this stuff I had to do, and saved up 500 from work. Put in the offer. They gave me another 5, and I bought this laptop. And that's when I was like, all right, I want to make music, but what the fuck am I gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, and I was, I don't know, probably 14 at the time, and I found Fruity Loops and a keyboard. And I never really learned how to program that keyboard anyway. Fruity Loops software. To this day, I think probably in the landfill somewhere. But I kept going at the software because the software has a grid and kind of it was, easy enough to be like, yo, I made that, and it wouldn't even be that big of a deal. It kind of would be, but it was, like in the beginning, I'm looking back like, holy shit. And that's when I first found it. And I was pretty excited about it. So I kept with it, but rap was my first love, and I stayed with rap mostly. And I would go through my friends. And is it still popping? Anyways, just let me know.
That's good.
It's good, okay. And so I would, go to my friends for beats. Dizzy Visions, my buddy that I lived with in Florida for a while. And I think that was all I knew for produce. I knew about you through Wise Sean because I grew up in Ledgewood, and before the group home in Ledgewood, those were the guys who were around, and you were like dropping beats. I don't know who else was, but it was not easy to find.
Matt Erickson.
That's right. I was actually right under Erickson's wing. That was my that was my OG, man. Before I went away and he went away to Full Sail and I went to group homes, and then life changed for us both. Yeah, man, that was one of the things. Like I couldn't have creativity in my hands as much, but I wanted to. You know what I mean? Like if I heard a song, I wanted to be able to like pull that sample and like go make beats on it, but I didn't. So it took a while to learn that, anyways. And then I just kept rapping and rapping and rapping until probably about 3-4 years ago. Dizzy asked me to come to Florida and live with him and help shoot videos and make music and just kind of like live with my homie, bro, and his wife and my other friend Dakota. And every night I would just go in the studio and kind of watch him make beats. And I mean, he's really good at it too. Dizzy. You guys are both like incredible talents to me, and people I love to work with. And I would just watch, you know what I mean? Like I would be like, yo, what are you doing? And he would be nice enough to like, you know, stop what he was doing and explain some things. And over the course of about a year and a half down in like Tampa Bay, I would just, you know, go to work, come home. We'd hang out when we could. I'd just watch him make beats. I'd write rhymes. But I would pay attention, you know, and like I was taking notes, watching like how he was doing this and that. And it got to the point, man, where I did so much note taking that it kind of just fell in. And I was like, whoa, I know how to. It was like that Neo moment in the Matrix. He's like, I know Kung Fu, you know. All of a sudden, I was like, oh shit, I know what I'm doing, and it was cool. And there's even like advanced things now that I know how to like check the key of a track or like how to find the tempo of a sample just by going through like a DJ program. But that helps when I need to lay my 808s in the right key. You know, shit like that. Fuck what I know, you know, if it wasn't for my homie being like, yo, check this out, which I really appreciated the time down there. That helped a lot. Because when I came home, it was like, all right, now I can put it in my hands and I'm still going to rap over your beats too. I mean, but I love making, because I need variance with my production. Like, I don't want it to all be my production, you know.
Right.
You know, Kanye West makes his own beats, but you know he collaborates with everybody.
Yeah,
that's what's beautiful about music. I
rap on my own beats, but I also like beats too. So don't get me wrong.
Like, there's no need to limit ourselves because we're good at one thing and say, "Oh."
Matter of fact, I prefer sometimes to just rap on other people's beats.
Man, because it gives you that freedom to not be like, "Oh, I did that kick and like I was trying to do this with it." You know,
the same sense though. Like, I can really ride a beat that I made though. You know, I noticed that a lot of times my lyrics will hit directly on the kicks and the snares and things like that. Like certain words will just hit, and I just write it out. It flows. You know what I mean? I don't take too much time writing it. It flows pretty decent. So like I don't sit there and rap it that way to make it hit like that. It just does. And I think it's because a lot of times I listen to the beat so much that it's kind of ingrained. Once I start listening to it again, I have that natural flow of how to get inside that little pocket that everybody tries to get in. Because I think of my flow in the terms of how a hi-hat could ride on the beat. And there's many ways, as you know, a hi-hat could ride on a beat in fourth or 8 or 16 or in thirds. But I try to do that with the rap. Yeah. Same idea.
I like though is that, tell me I'm wrong, like when you write a song, by the time you get to writing it after you made the beat, you heard the beat so much that it's almost not new to you anymore. You're like, oh, like when you play beats for me, it's like I've never heard this. It's a polished thing, and I get to like, my mind just doesn't have to worry about building the beat. So like in that sense, I like to make so many that when I go back they feel new again, because you know what I mean? Like it's a challenge to keep it fresh. When you create and you recite it so much. That's the same thing with studio vocals, where I recite the verse so much that I'm not even excited in the booth, and you can feel the excitement when it's there, you know?
Right.
It's the difference between like somebody like reading a cue card and somebody like not feeling like they're reading a cue card, but they're hitting all the points, you know? And that's a tough challenge, man. It's for me always been, because I work so hard and I recite it so much that it's like by the time I get to you, it is like ready to go, and I don't waste time in the studio, but I'm also experiencing it for like the 10,000th time. And that, you know, definitely saps it, man. I mean, there's no way around it. You can't. That's the challenge for me, I guess, man. So
word. So I mean, I just want to, we're segue now into, I just want to mention that I got a single that's performing pretty well around on the interwebs, and I want to mention it. It's a single I did recently. I released on March 5th with a rapper from New Bedford, Massachusetts named Libsy.
Shout out to Libsy.
Shout out to Libsy. He's got a pretty decent following. He's got his own little thing called Whooshy Gang, and they do their own thing. They're always doing a lot of shows. He hosts a show on Bars Over Bars Media. That's our media group every Tuesday called What's Beef, where he pairs a local song from an artist against another local song from a different artist, like playoffs, and then they listen to them and they vote on which one moves on, so on and so forth, till they get a winner every Tuesday. Pretty cool little show he does. But he keeps on this song. He heard this beat. I made the beat. He heard the beat. He was like, I want to write on that. And I was like, I already have a verse. It just kind of worked out that way. I was like, I got a verse on that beat. So I kind of the verse down and in the hook and send it to him, and he put a verse on there. And yeah, I mean, it's performing well. We just passed 20,000 plays on Spotify. That's the second song I've ever done to do that. And the first song was Escape My Ways that I put out with Eric Mayo or whatever back last year, which took like 9 months to pass 20,000 plays. So in 1 month to get 20,000 plays is fucking ridiculous. We're on right now, as of this morning, I think we were on like 33 worldwide playlists. Some of them have like over 50,000, 75,000 followers on these playlists. So playlist placement works. You know, I say promo, and like you've been talking about marketing and all that it plays right into that. You can see I got 22,000 monthly listeners on my Spotify, and more and more are growing pretty much every day. And so we're going to be doing a video for this down in Massachusetts here, probably in May. So be on the lookout for that. I just wanted to shout out Libsy and just give an update on what's happening with my music. If you want to check it out, just go over to Spotify. I'm on there. I'm on every streaming platform, YouTube, whatever, wherever you listen to. Check it out live, Rize. I'm not going to play it right now, but let's transition back into talking about we're either going to do, I think we should do random discussion, because we can pick a couple topics here, stuff that we're interested in. I know me personally, I'm into weed and shit like that. So weed is the huge thing, and I always like to talk about weed. Video games, another thing I'm into. Politics sometimes. Causes is a big thing. So if you have any causes you want to mention right now, is a great time to mention that. If anybody, it includes you, Justin, you want to shout out,
stop Asian
anything.
hate.
And yeah, now's the time.
Yes,
that we could discuss that. Yeah, about Asian hate. Like, what's the deal with that anyway?
Oh, the shooting in Atlanta.
Right.
Salon,
right. Okay.
I guess. I didn't read much about it, but yeah, definitely.
Right, so white shooter goes in, shoots up some Asian places, right?
Stop hating, man.
Yeah, and
fuck, man.
They're trying to say, yeah, I remember the sheriff was saying something and almost defending the guy in a way. I remember reading that.
Was that the same sheriff that got those fucking shirts made up?
It's like a lot of indifference, but hate is just too much, man. It's like MLK, man. It's decided to go with love because hate's too great of a burden to bear. It's like when people are hating, they're only carrying so much negative shit through their lives, man. It's like, oh man, I don't even know. It's hard to explain it.
The sheriff, I don't know what the sheriff's name is. Justin was asking if the sheriff was the same one that got the shirts made up. What shirts are you talking about?
So one of these sheriffs in Georgia, I don't know if it was in Atlanta or another county or what, but he had a shirt made up, said COVID-19 and then something about China.
Okay.
People were freaking out. So I wonder if it was that same fucking idiot.
I don't know what the sheriff's name was, but that's fucked up too that a sheriff would even do that. But he had some shirts made up that said COVID China or some shit like that. And I don't know if it's the same sheriff, but if it was, then I mean, obviously he's insensitive to the whole situation, which is fucked up. But yeah,
sex addiction. He said sex addiction was his reason, not racism.
Oh yeah,
so was it a massage parlor?
It was a few of them, I guess. Apparently,
I didn't read. I guess that sounds like that might be why. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
To know, man. That's crazy.
But yeah, usually we have a longer show. I didn't know if you had what time your time limit was, Eric. If you're because we're 9:15 right now. If you want to keep going, if you need to go, you can go. You're more than welcome.
That's fine. I got some. This is chilling. I'm chilling.
All right, cool. Sweet. So let's talk about your favorite songs or projects that you've ever released. So if you've got, a project or a song in particular that just really stands out for you, it could be, from any year, just something that that's like maybe your favorite song that you've ever done.
Oh,
if you had to pick one.
I think One of my favorites is one that I produced and wrote about two of my ex-girlfriends called When I Used to Love Her. My buddy Jimmy down in Miami knows about that one. I still got it somewhere, but it's dark, man. And then I did Vanilla Sky, if you ever heard that. I did that one at Bottom of the River Sound with a guy named Nick Bellata, and I used to make records. And I did some things at Dustin Dewsalt's house. I think my favorite thing of all time was at the Dewsalt residence, the Green Tapes, man.
Yeah.
I actually dropped a series of mixtapes on actual tapes because I'm that old. And it was like 8 or 9
All
of
of that
them.
shit was great. Everything that you did over at Dews's house was fucking amazing, dude. And I wish that just would be better quality for preservation purposes. You know
Honestly, yeah, those were like classic mixtapes, man. It was just me and Dustin having fun, and like he'd be on his CD mixer, and he had the DY, and he had like another effect, and he would like loop a beat, and this is the first time I'd ever seen anybody like loop a section of a beat and just keep it running. And then he learned how to put it on a tape deck and give me a mic, and I was just, and by the time we got good at that, Sam Belanger used to come by, and Sammy's an amazing vocalist that works with the Millfire, and he's like into like the rock scene and the alt scene and the reggae scene, and I mean the kid, he's like a EDM scene. I mean, he does all music. He grew up in drum lines, you know. As a kid, he was always in the band and like just really good at what he fucking does. So the three of us would get together and we'd freestyle 45, 50-minute tapes, man. And we did 9 of them. Wow. And that was every time we dropped one, it was like I'd make fun of my friends on them. I would, you know, like I had this one line, and I know everybody remembers. I said, I fuck fat bitches, medium hoes, skinny ones too. I don't discriminate like my man Elon do, because our boy Eric would just be wilding. So
making it personal with like the personal shout outs, personal like people to have to poke fun. That's all what it was about anyway. A lot of times with all of us anyway, was a lot of it would be like I know Wyshawn and Sam and me, we would always say like that we would do the I'm gonna come in your house and put a gun in your mouth while you lay on the couch. Like it was just like we'd do that all the time, and like Wyshawn would grunt and Sam would grunt. It'd be like all weird. And he'd be like, "What are you talking about?" And then Sam would always talk about feet and shit. And he'd be like, "What the fuck?" Like don't have your girlfriend come over with fucking sandals on. He'd be like, "Keep shoes on. We're going to see Sam. Like make sure you keep your shoes on. You don't want to have your toes out." Because like he'd probably say something about it, like, "Oh, you got some nice feet." I'm like, what? Fuck did you say? Oh man, wilding all the time, dude. Huh? Yo, there, uncover your mic. I hear you better now.
Oh yeah, my fault. I said Sam and Ryan was like Pun and Fat Joe back in the day, man. They were just
it was, They were.
We don't even know what they were doing. Like they were dissing like real artists. They were out stealing girlfriends. They was doing the worst, man.
Say Mark saying you were getting crossed up by him.
He must be talking about you. Basketball? Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Mark was fucking good, man. Jesus. Yeah.
Getting crossed up by me.
I don't know, man. I used to catch him at 21, man. I won a couple games. I'd have to cheat a little bit.
I played a couple games over there at their house too. Not as many as you, but I played a couple.
That was the best competition over there, man. We used to ball all day, man.
It was elbows all day over there. Like there was no, if you were anywhere near the hoop, it was elbows all day.
Yeah, like that's how you play in jail, you know? Like
exactly. Elbows, all hips and elbows. Like
you're gonna be in jail one day, get used to it.
It's like nobody's shooting jumpers either. It's all like barrel to the basket, just try to get as close as you can.
Like, we all had fun until freaking Eric Mayo came over, and then just everybody's like, all right, we suck. That kid, if he stayed out of trouble, probably be in the NBA right now, man.
Yeah, and he's a multi-talented person that
I love Mayo. Man, he's
credit
a good guy.
Good.
Shout out Mayo. Shout out what
he's
up?
Done in
shout out to Due Salt. Shout out Whole Ledgewood. Shout out Tri-Town. Shout out everybody, man.
Hell yeah.
Good people. Good people.
But yeah, what time is it? 9:15. All right, so let's talk a little bit about new rap versus old rap. So this can be a discussion that some people are like, it's completely one-sided. I know that you were mentioning earlier NBA YoungBoy and some of these new guys.
Yeah,
So you might
kids can flow,
be able
man.
to offer up. Yeah, you offer up some, good fresh perspective on it. So what is what do you think about the difference in time eras, like between like the late 90s, early 2000s to now? And what do you think about the quality versus quantity of music that's coming out?
I mean, well, you got artists that can come out of nowhere now, because back when we were coming out, it was like you couldn't find production. You couldn't, like, now you can get it all on your computer, and it's not hard to produce a song by yourself. It's not hard to shoot your own video. I mean, it was almost like if you wanted to rap in our era, you had to want it, man. And you had to kind of fit the mold too. Like, it wasn't, I don't know. It's hard to describe. But nowadays, what I'm noticing is there's cross genres. So you got emo rap, you got drill music, you got
Trap.
basically trap. You got, like,
Yeah.
hip hop is
East
not
Coast,
just
West
hip hop.
Coast trap. It's a lot of different genres for sure.
It's not just, and then there's hyphy, and then there's, like, subsections of hip hop. So it's like, it's not just rap anymore. Like, if everybody kind of bunches it together, that's one thing. But like, if you look at Lil Uzi Vert as like compared to Tupac, you don't do that, because one's an emo rapper. One could rap and make you emotional, but there's a difference. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it. But they're actually using elements from emo rock in the production, is what I'm saying. It's not about the message or the image. It's actually in the music theory. And if you look at drill music, they move the snare. So every time in trap, when we were doing snares on 4/4, I think they're doing 5/16. You might know more about that. But they, I've learned how to make drill music now, and like, that's a UK thing, where they took the sliding bass and then the flickering hi-hat, all these like small elements that are creating subgenres that kind of are making it interesting, if you ask me. I really like that Blueberry Faygo song, or Roxanne, or Lil Uzi Vert is one of my favorite artists out there right now, because he's just like, man, it's not all about just being lyrical anymore. It's not about rapping and being hard. It's about kind of being vulnerable now. Like, the strength is in your vulnerability. Like, the more you can open up and be yourself, the more people want to hear that shit, man. They don't want to hear us be so tough that nothing can touch us anymore, because let's be real, like, that was never real. A lot of those people ended up in jail, or like on drugs, or like fucked up, man. I mean, the narrative never seemed to fit the reality of it. And so I think there was a disconnect there with this new generation, and they decided to move a different way. And I thought it's justified, because what did we do with our lives, man? What were we inspired to do by our music besides sell drugs and do, sometimes it was inspiring and motivational, but a lot of times, man, it was like, it's like I'm telling my suffering, but I'm causing more suffering. You know what I'm saying? Like, my story is sad, but if I just reverberate it in an effective way, it's gonna make somebody else sad and think they got to do the same bullshit I did. And the narrative was fucked up, I think. And that's a big disconnect, man, because when content is everything, and this new generation is smart kids, bro, they got the world in their palms, bro. They got phones. They can look it up. Like, we had urban legends and some dude in your neighborhood that acted like Joe Rogan. We're not informed, you know what I'm saying? Like, these kids are smart, and they know the difference between somebody that grew up to just be a fucking, I don't want to be mean about it, but like a fiend, that was talking about being a hustler. That's a disconnect. It's not saying you need to be something to make music. It's just saying that it was one way, and it was empowering for a while when it was Pac and Biggie, but maybe when it became all about, showing off, it lost substance. And now there's just no substance. They just show off because they know that pays. And that's actually like the problem, because they're not going to be anybody if they talk like a Dear Mama track. They won't have a song on the radio. Like, nobody's listening to those tracks. Or if they do, it's after you drop your single. You know, you got to show you can connect on like a dumb level before you can even be heard. So if you don't know how to connect on like that low common denominator, you don't get to reach that rare niche across the board. You'll just become like a regional artist, you know. And that's a problem everywhere. We get canonized because we're from here and nobody, you know, but Boston isn't getting listened to in New York. And even New York has trouble getting spins from hip hop artists because it's moving around so much because everybody has access to making music now. And it's,
what do you think of?
So yeah, I'm kind of tailing off, but yeah. It's
what
wild.
do you think though of, you know, the lyrics versus now versus then? Like, I know there are some artists like we mentioned before, like J. Cole or Kendrick. You know, you got some that are obviously we don't have to mention, but for the most part, what do you think? The message has changed, right? What's the narrative that seems like back in the day, you'd listen to rap and it'd be like they're about smoking weed, they're dealing drugs and this and that. Nowadays, it seems like motherfuckers they're getting lit, they're popping mollies, they're fucking, you know, they're sipping.
It's kind of the same. I mean, let's be real. Like, it wasn't like always intelligent music in our era. We had some really ignorant shit too. I mean, I was wilding out to like songs talking about fucking, you know, things I don't even want to repeat here. Like, you know, it's almost to this point where we were critical and we never want to be like the ones that got old and talk about the new generation. Like, but you know, sometimes it does fucking suck, man. I mean, it's just not there. And then sometimes, bro, like this music some of it will live. The difference in flow, I would say, changed a lot. Like, you have a lot of triplet flows now. People going like, you can, like, people are faster now. Like, the rap is quicker. Back in our day, it was like you built your flow solid and steadily over a course of 16 bars, and the momentum at the end was just crazy. Now you can build momentum and just stop and then pause and then like come back into it, and then you crowd it all in the beginning and then pause, and that's what the triplet flow is doing. And a lot of that thanks to Migos, also Twista, like originally, but I really like what the Migos did, man. They had a big influence on what happened to hip hop, man. I mean, when they came along, it was kind of one way, and now it's what they're doing is the thing, and you don't even hardly remember most of what they say in the track. Like, I can't remember many quotables that are like, you know, you remember quotables, right?
Yeah.
When you be like, yo, this line is insane, you don't get that as much, but the flow is dope, and you kind of bounce the whole time, and it's like, and that's kind of the difference, where the musical element is different. Like, the beats changed, the beats got better, obviously, but I think the MCs got better too. Not in the content, but in the flow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think this new generation, they're better at flowing, man, but they're not as good at saying something. You know?
Yeah. I mean, we could talk about.
To see somebody come out because they have a lot more social issues now than we had. Actually, like, we had a more of a simple social. Our generation had a more simple social life. Like, shit was more clean cut. We didn't have like race wars. We weren't. I mean, politics was a divide, but it wasn't like it is now. I mean, it's insane to see how that there's so much to say right now and that there's so little being said. It's fucked up, actually. Think about it. I mean, if it was art, we were trying to say something when nothing was going on. You know what I mean? Like, and now it's like,
there's a lot to talk about now.
What do you say when you know, I'm 32, and that means I'm old to the rap community. I'm an old man. So anything I do is like Ice Cube, and you ever watch the Boondocks? You know, Ice Cube, he's like, he didn't even know he was a rapper because this new generation, they might not even know Ice Cube is a rapper. They might just remember him from Are We There Yet? You know.
Word.
What happens is you get old and then the narrative changes, and it's kind of like it is my responsibility, but it isn't my responsibility. You know, I have to talk to people, but they're just gonna be like, "What's up, old man?" You know, like, you literally, once you become preachy, it's like you get cut off with that because of that age group. Like, you know how we came up, and anybody rocking fat gold chains and Adidas, we just shut off. We're like, "Yo, you old." Like, it's our time now. And is that my volume thing? Yo, my bad. It's my fucking iPhone. I'm learning how to use the iPhone, bro.
No, it's all good. I thought it was me for a second because all my shit's been crazy today.
My palm's like under it, and apparently that's what I need to speak. So
Okay.
my bad, yo. I'll
Yeah,
cut
I
it
can't
out.
hear you. I heard you for a lot of that. But I got you turned up, so that's just
That's
on
all
my
good.
mixer.
Yeah, I heard most of it.
Better
Yeah.
now, and now I can hear you too. So that's dope.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's
Oh, word.
fine. I was like, man, I can hear you. Like, I could just do like the lip sync thing the whole time. Like, what did you just say? I think
It only took us an hour and a half, but we figued it out.
Honestly, I
Figured
think
it
I
out,
got
bro.
like
That's
3
restream,
words.
bro.
Lip
Fucking
reading.
restream.
How good am I at lip reading? I think I got 3 words. It was like and peace. How'd I do, man?
Pretty good.
Good.
Yeah, man. It's good to hear you though, man. That's dope.
It's good to hear you, bro.
Yeah, for real.
Thanks, restream, you fucking
I was
bastard.
like breathing, man. Oh shit.
Well, I was worried it was my shit again. Like
Yeah. I don't even have a
earlier,
good sound.
I don't know if you guys were hearing me.
I heard you. It's a
All right.
fucking iPhone. I hate iPhones, man. Throw that shit out the window. I got an Android. I'll send to you.
Bro, I
Just throw
just
it out
switched
the
to
window.
iPhone and I'm already sick of this fucking thing, man. I swear to
Oh,
God.
Where he said it's good now. Good. So everything is
Send
good.
me that Android, man. I got my old phone.
Send me that Android. Yeah.
I got my old phone
word.
just in case to like check it out, but it's all cracked. Like, so I'm on my iPhone and this is my Droid, but it's all fucked up as you can see. It still works though.
We were talking about Dustin earlier. That's Dustin's painting up there.
Yo, Dustin's
Dustin
a
did
very
that.
good artist, man.
I always say that too. Anytime anybody mentions Dustin on the show, I always shout out Dustin do so. He does crazy great graffiti work and shit like that. And
green
I mean, other than graffiti too, he can draw. Like he can draw like pencil, like fucking charcoal draw. I think he can draw on a fucking iPad. He was doing all kinds of shit I could see on his Instagram. So
we did that green.
If you hear me, can send me more paintings, bro. I need more. Just saying.
That's the boy right there. Well, it'd be nice to get everybody back together for like a barbecue one day, man.
Yeah, we're
keep thinking like, but what I want to do, bro, and don't tell nobody. I mean, people listening, obviously, but
don't tell nobody. But
don't steal my idea. Don't steal my idea because I want to do a sock drop for the homeless, man, and I want everybody to be a part of it. So,
okay,
try to get the community on some like
help the homeless. With that.
We're gonna help the homeless. We're gonna get people to donate socks to come to a show. Like no admission money, just bring a fresh pack of socks. Like they're like less than $5.
We can help bring that easily with Bars Over Bars. They do like multiple shows a week, all fucking summer. They're already
right now that's the least donated and most needed thing amongst homeless people. So it's like in this time and with the pandemic and all that, I thought it would be so cool.
Right.
If we get the community together as soon as we can. Maybe not right away, but
soon. It will be soon. You know, Maine's opening up vaccines April 19th for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm fucking lining up.
Of course, when it's safe.
Go.
We're not endangering people by trying to help them because that's counterproductive as fuck. So, you know, like, hey, here's some socks and some SARS. Have a good day.
You get 2 for 1 today.
Welcome
to the party. Here's some socks and a sneeze.
Socks and SARS.
Good one.
Rize socks and SARS, man. Come get some.
Word. So, do you have anything in particular that's come, into your mind? You've started working on that's going to be new. That's going to be coming out soon. Do you plan on putting that out on all streaming platforms if you are doing that? And what else do you have going on that's upcoming that we should be looking out for?
So I just found a studio down the street. I just moved to Wells, Maine, actually, where Spose is from. I've never been out here, man. It's kind of weird, but I like it. And I found a studio down the road, $65 an hour, and it's called Toontown. Shout out to Toontown, man. That shit looks really cool. And I got 60 beats I just exported the other night out of 140. And you know me, I like to write, so I'm in my writing phase. I think I got probably 7 or 8 of them done. And
so you think this year we'll have a project from you that should be completed? You think?
I got 4 beats worth of projects right now. Plus, I'm gonna get some from you. And shout out, I'm gonna try to get Dizzy in there, if I can, and whatever I can do. You know what I mean? But I want to get 4 12-track mixtapes done this year, and shoot a video as much as like. Yeah, man, it's trying to like work now. You know, I'm not thinking about it like a hobby this year. Like I'm getting out of work and I'm putting in 4 hours at night.
Yeah,
trying to like until I pass out. You know, remember how Remy used to fall asleep in the booth?
yeah.
That was the work ethic, man, that I think I've always been missing, and like something that he showed us early. And that I, shout out Remy first off.
Shout out Remy Johnson.
Yeah, that's the OG, man. And he just sent me his album Black September. I checked that out, dude. That was crazy. Did you get to listen to that?
One, right?
Yeah, man. That dude.
Yeah, because we did Black September back in 2005. We put out that album called Black September back in 2005. I had a couple beats on it. It was mostly his beats, and then he just did another album called Black September. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there was another one. I know he's in Johannesburg, and I think there's some cultural significance to this, which I don't at the moment understand. But he's been a friend of ours, since Portland.
He's also was born in September. That has a big thing to do with it.
Okay,
September,
it's
September 12th, I want to say. But I could be wrong.
What's my birthday?
I don't know what your birthday is.
You don't remember my birthday.
I don't only remember his because mine is on the 2nd, and we used to like celebrate, like co-celebrate when we lived together in Portland.
I used to go over there in Andrews Square in Portland. I used to go to that crib. We play 2K. You'd be on the couch all day, making beats and shit. Yo, we used to walk around the city. You and I, man, just copping this and that.
Smoking weed.
Smoking
weed, cigarettes. Well, I was smoking cigarettes.
You were the man, bro. That was so much fun back then. Just chilling out, all of us.
Doing dumb shit, man. Wishing I had a better plan back in the day when I was in my 20s than just kind of squandering it away like I did, because maybe I'd be a little further along. But then again, the experiences kind of make you, where you're at. I don't know where I'd be at with them, so.
Have some faith that it all worked out perfect, because it's still not over, man. It's like at the end of the day, I tell myself I'm old and we're old, but it ain't over. Like, if you really make something great in this world, I do believe that, people are going to pick up on it. And this, sometimes it takes time, but you've been working hard for how many years? Like, at some point, something's got to give. And if nothing, we make what we love, and we spent our lives doing something we love doing.
Yeah.
Good enough.
My music is up on the internet, forever, so I don't really care at this point. And speaking of music being up on the internet forever, you should, when your album is done, you should immediately hit me up so that I can distribute it for you.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna get you to send me some beats too, but I'll pay you for them. I always pay you for the beats.
Yeah, my beats are $25 each, bro. It's not anything crazy. Exclusive rights. I'll send you the stems if you need them, but you get a high quality beat that'll be
I got no
whatever
problem
you need. And if you need stems, I got them too. But
yeah, I'll probably do like 3 or 4. I'll probably say like $100 in a package one day when I get a chance. And grab like 4 off you. And
how I do. I just make you a Google Drive folder and put a bunch of beats in it, and you can listen to some and pick out what you like.
Is that the best way to share beats with people? Google Drive? Because I'm learning how to,
you just make a Google Drive folder, and you put I name whoever it's gonna be. Like if it was you, I'd be like Rize 8 beats, boom, and then I just open it up, and then I drag whatever beats I want to give you in there to look at, and then I share it with your email, and you're able to access it anytime. And if you're in Google Drive, and you want to save that folder because it's not your folder, but you want to access it all the time, you can click in there somewhere and you can save that folder to your Google Drive, like a link to it. So it'll just be right there for you. Yeah, shortcut.
Yeah, it's called a shortcut.
So that you can just click on it. Boom.
Instant access and change it and all that.
Yep. And I give you full access so that you can download and edit. And you can even like upload, and then when you start recording, I ask that you re-upload back into that folder the songs when they're done. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so just keep, it's like a living document that you just keep updating.
Yeah, constantly evolving. Yeah.
Yep. I knew what it was. I just was wondering about, like, because the file size is always so fucking big, man. It's
The file size isn't going to matter. I think we get like 20 gigs or some ridiculous amount for free. Maybe even 100.
At some point, they're like, yeah, you're going to have to pay for that. And you're like,
yeah,
nah,
they do it.
Fuck
But
that.
you could just make another email and just fucking get another free thing.
Like, you're not taking my money. Fuck you.
You'd be surprised. I've been saving shit in my Google Drive forever. And I look at my Google Drive right now, and it's like I got music videos. I got every music video ever made is saved in my Google Drive. All kinds of beats. I got 1,000 beats on my Google Drive probably, and I still got over half my space.
All right, so that's what I'm gonna do then.
Yeah.
All right, so what I can do is share them with you too, man. Maybe you can let me know how you feel, and if you even want to like add shit to them, bro.
Yeah.
You're the beat maker. I'm just the rapper trying to make beats, man. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm the rapper, bro. You know.
That's true. You do rap. I ain't gonna
lie. But yeah, when you're done, you can always send the acapellas and the stem back to me to mix and master, and I'll do that because that's kind of like what I want to do when I hear something done over my shit. I want it to sound how I want it to sound.
Yeah, you can have definitely, if it's your beat, I'll definitely send it back to you, man, for sure.
But yeah, then when it comes time to put it out, let me know because that's kind of like what I do at Elevate, audio school is do that. I will get your shit out. And as soon as you get it to me, I'll get it out in 2 weeks. It'll be upstream and everywhere. That way, you can start building your legacy as far as keeping that up because it's up. Once it's up forever. So you'll be good. You know what I mean? And we had already discussed doing a like a remaster, re-release.
Yeah, man.
Before the Fall We Rise or whatever, or after the Fall We Rise. That album that we did, and I am working on that. It's just been so busy with everything, and I started on it. I got a few tracks done, and let me say, going back in and being able to remix those down and master them again with a little bit better equipment and a little bit more knowledge, really sounding good. So, yeah, it sounds great, and I think that you're going to be really happy with how that comes out. And I say I could probably have it out by like June-ish time, probably be done by like June, and I'm just going to put it out. And then when I put it out, I'm going to give you a link, obviously, and you'll be able to access it on Spotify and Apple Music, wherever that is. But I'm doing it. I know I'm in the process of it. I just have to move slowly because I can only do so much at a time.
You got a family, bro. It's all good. I
got all these fucking podcasts and all this other shit that I'm trying to do now, learning the drone and learning everything else that I got.
Shout out the drone, by the way, the Maverick, bro.
Shout out the drone.
Shout out the drone, man. Tackle the drones.
I gotta take the drone out now.
Dude, that thing is sick. Yo, we need to. Yo, you know what we used to do in Miami? With the film crews, we would do real estate, but we would fly the drone low around the house, and you can get sweeping shots flying it low. You don't got to go all the way up with it to make it dope.
I know.
That thing's like a little. If you learn how to fly in low areas, bro, that shit can like produce a whole show in your house.
Exactly.
Nuts.
Yeah, you can. It does everything. I had this thing
good
out
at it. You don't bust it against the wall or the chandelier, though.
I had this shit out today doing circle shots around a 200-foot water tower at the old Air Force Base in 4K, 60 frames a second, and I put that shit up on YouTube. And I got a bunch of shit going up on YouTube, just kind of fucking around and getting video of it and figuring out all the features that it has just before I start doing a lot of shit with it. You know what I mean? But it's dope. It does a lot of shit. I'm like, damn, all the shit that this thing can do. And it's got a sport mode that when you pop that shit into fucking sport mode, that thing is going like 40 something. I think it was reading like 45 miles an hour, like straight. Boom. I mean, it's cruising, dude.
Oh, dude.
And today I took it what seemed to me to be so fucking far away. It read out on my meter only be like 1,200 feet. Which it doesn't seem like a lot, but I couldn't see it. You see what I'm saying? My eyes lost it in the sky. I'm like, I don't even know where it is. I could see obviously on the screen in front of me, but I lost it. And I'm like, damn, I just kept going by what I was seeing, but it would go, the range on the thing is fucking ridiculous. I think it can go 6 miles is what they say. I don't think I've ever taken that far.
My
up in the sky straight up like 3 miles, like straight up.
Jesus.
My homie Todd lost one in Puerto Rico in the ocean, man.
I got the plan though. So like if anything happens to mine, it's good. It's $59 to replace the first one and $89 for the second one. You can get 2 replacements in a year with the
smart
DJI.
because it's smart.
$89 for the refresh care plan, and I got it for every DJI product that I have. and I will always have it. So the Pocket is $29 for the year, and you can get 2 replacements of that too, $29 and $59.
I mean, you might as well crash one for fun at that point. Like,
that's what I'm saying. And they even say if you want to cap one out, like, oh, I lost it.
Just go get the card after.
Oh, it's in the water or whatever, and I can't recover it. They'll still give you one for $159. So if you lose it and you can't recover it and you can't give it back in any shape, way, or form, they'll still give you one if you have that plan for $159. So being that's $400,
you lost it and then let me buy one for $159.
Oh, man.
Tell them I ain't got it. I don't got it. What they gonna do?
I don't know what happened to it. It fell off the coral.
What they gonna do? Prove it, man? Shit. $159. You gonna give me? All right, let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah, it's been fun learning how to do the drone shit.
No, we're not running scams on your web show, man. We won't do that.
No, but to say that if you do lose it completely and you don't have to worry about it and you can get a replacement, it's pretty good.
You know, remember that reminds me of is in Living Color. Welcome to the Homeboy Shopping Network.
Oh man.
We got satellite, cell phone.
Oh shit. Word. So I mean, we're normally at this point in the show we'd be doing like a live performance or something like that. But yeah, what I can do if you want is I can just pull up some music that you've done over my stuff and just play a couple songs or something. Covering the mic.
My fault. It's right there. It's on both sides, yo.
There's 2 mics on that thing. It's
I just bought a new. I had a Nokia Droid. Now I got the XR iPhone. I fucking hate it. Yo, you got one? You got 1, 2, 3 on there?
I do. Yeah, I'm just looking for it right now.
Like, yeah, you can throw whatever. You know which one I liked is the one you lost. The one we from the north, straight at the dungeon. If we ain't have it, we had to get it and flip it because they wasn't giving us nothing. It's probably a product of all the deduction. Oh man, I forget that verse was stupid, but I was literally off like coming home from the south, and it was all kind of in that triplet format, you know.
It was definitely dope, but the computer was not agreeing with us.
It was like, no, that's too hot. I can't take it. And then
remember how much trouble it was giving us before we could even record too.
My best songs. Listen, the 3 best songs I ever recorded, lost, bro. Like I swear to God, one was with Heavy Dread, one was with you, and I think one was with Sam Smeed. And like the most fire I ever recorded is always like. It's just not meant to be. Like,
all right. So you want to play it? 1, 2, 3. This is a song we recorded back in like
whatever one
2015.
I like that whole album.
Probably. I'm gonna play a couple of them probably.
Yeah, I like that whole album, bro.
But the first one's called 1, 2, 3. I made the beat, and it's me and Rize 8 on the track. So I'm rapping on this too. So yeah, I'm gonna play it, and we'll be muted while it plays. But check it out.
Rising Beast, 15. Shoot straight. Yo, one of a kind, one of a select group of beings with a sentient mind. You failed to mention, no, I could not hear you from dimensions beyond. A big fish, a little fish when he's in my palm. I'm like the horse-head nebula, force-fed intelligence and not of convention. A force to competitors. The war in your head is just duality. It naturally occurs in everything, because the one way it varies. See, it's based on your perspective. Infinite perspectives means it's really just a speck, and it's impossible to see, but creates a mosaic of every color is layers and textures and memory. Create a cloud that's in the air. Stardust, divine winds of blunt that's lit. I come to grip that life comes with no compasses. We could change everything, still nothing switch. It's just the way you're the game, but what a life this is. It's like twisted in the haze in the days. Gaze into the galaxy and count up all the ways. Sitting like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Metaphysical frequencies get into you. The universe is pulling magnetized by your will to move. Still it proves fatal while resisting proof futile. You die if you stay right here. Let's keep it moving. Sitting like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. My style is like when two stars are formed September 2nd, 1984, a star was born. Listen up, kid, politicians be starting in wars. Time to rise up, time to take what's yours. Never trust a bitch, have no faith in whores. What the fuck you think you take me for? I'm about that money since day one. While all you fiends take drugs, overdose and stay strong. While I medicate with reefer, I stay filling my lungs, spitting in tongues, slightly sipping this rum. I'm getting me some till the day I'm laid down. I left for 7 years, the building's decayed some. My DNA is that of a hybrid. I am built out of diamonds and I can survive in any climate. Start a revolution and incite these riots.
In the days, gaze into the galaxy and count up all the ways. And I'm sitting like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Metaphysical frequencies get into you. The universe is pulling, magnetized by your will to move. Still it proves fatal while resisting prove futile. You die if you stay right here. Let's keep it moving. Sitting like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Stargazing in amazement. Everything is changing. It'll always be the same. As the pieces rearrange, it's no secret that we can't just keep going this way. If I'm connected to things, then I'll go through the gates. What's the proponents of atonement since it's no better place for me to grow and I keep going with the hopes to be great. We'll never know if we slow down. What's even worse if we stop? I let the world know I've let it go. How could I justify it? Find reason in the silence. Straight from the past so long, it left me mindless, intertwined with the wildest. Confined inside the belly of the beast, digest it till your time's up. We spending every dollar for the image of fresh. Really isn't in the clothes, but in how you finesse. I think everybody in the knows. haze, in the days, gaze into the galaxy and count up all the ways. And I'm sitting like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Metaphysical frequencies get into you. The universe is pulling, magnetized by your will to move. Still it proves fatal while resisting proof futile. You die if you stay right here. Let's keep it moving. Sitting like 1, 2, 3. 1.
Shout out Lucifer.
Well, I'm not looking at the chat. Hold on. Lucifer says I'm getting
Fire,
burnt by
fire.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that was a little something from that album that we're talking about doing the remaster for.
Yeah, that would be cool, man.
Yeah, I've done. But
that shit was slept on. That whole album got slept on pretty hard, man.
You know, that came at a point where it was harder to get digital distribution than it is now, and we were in that in between time. Now, digital distribution is really easy to get, and that's why
you got United Masters. Have you heard that?
I've heard of them, yeah, but I don't use them. I use Song Trader. I wish they'd sponsor me, but yeah, it's free. It's free for other artists. You don't have to fucking pay anything. They just take 10% of your royalties. You keep 90%, and you don't pay anything to. You could submit fucking 100 albums or 100 singles fucking year if you want, and they'll put them up. It doesn't cost you shit. So I always recommend them if you're gonna do it yourself. If not, just get a hold of me, and I've done it so many fucking times I can easily do it. It's something that I do, and all the money. You still go to you because I assign that to whoever.
We'll work together. Yeah, we'll work together.
But yeah, as far as that's concerned, like I said, always go with Song Trader. Why pay when you can get it for free? I don't know how their whole system works. If they make enough off the 10%, well, hey, you know what I mean? Everybody's eating that way. So whatever. But yeah, there's a couple other songs on here that I like that don't have anything to do with me. What's one of your other favorite ones off there? So I want to hear what you think.
So I was going through the death of my girlfriend at the time. Kelsey had died in a car accident, and a lot of the writing was dark and depressing as fuck. Trying to just figure out what to like how to process all that, you know. That was really fucking hard, and it still is. I mean, I still get caught up daily. I mean, but it's one of those things that you grow so much in realizing how good you are at expressing some of these things, man. So I think the Wave After Wave joint we did was all about her, and shit gets me a little choked up talking about it, obviously, but shit is always emotional for me when I listen to that record, man, because like you did so good with the sample, and that song was great anyways, that I felt like I was drowning, and I just started writing to it, and it was just like
Drifting Away. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I forget the name.
Yeah, Drifting Away.
Thank you for the comment too.
Yeah,
one of those things, man. I really wanted to just get over it, man, but I couldn't, and that led me to going to Florida, and I didn't really do much better because I was still really depressed. And I mean, I still to this day got a lot of that going on. But
going to Florida didn't change much, right? It just kind of
it did. I mean, I grew a lot with Dizzy and like as an artist, and with meeting, like I met some of my favorite people to this day. Like shout out to everybody I met in Florida. But I was in a bad place, man. And when you're not right within, there's just no way to go anywhere, man. You can't run from yourself, you can't go anywhere. You have to look inside. And I finally realized that when I came home. And that was when I decided like it was time to take a journey inward. And but anyways, that's the song from when she had gone and passed away or whatever. Did you get to find it, or is it a tough thing?
I found it. Drifting Away. That's the one, I think.
Yeah. So if you want, whenever you're ready. That's one of the 3 or 4 songs I wrote about it.
My face above the water.
Is it right?
My feet can't touch the ground, and it feels like I can see the sands on the horizon every time you are not around. Slowly drifting, wave after wave after wave. Slowly drifting, wave after wave after wave. Slowly
drifting away through rifts of space. Close my eyes and the picture fade. Roll my life, try to skip the days. Cause ever since she died, I miss her face. But it's over now, can't hold it now. Flowing downstream, going over now. Gave you my heart, I will hold it out. But when I close my eyes, your hope I found you. Ain't it just something? I'm in the water, the waves if you're crushing. All of this pressure condense in my head. Sometimes I just act like it ain't doing nothing, but really I'm drowning in all of it. Since when I met you with someone, we fought a bit, drinking and smoking. I wait for your calls and knowing eventually all of this is going to vanish. 22 years and I'm at the Pampers. Went to her wake to say my goodbye. We were together till the day she perished, and it's just killing me cause when I'm staring, I see you standing, looking transparent, right like an angel saying come here, and we'll be together, there's nothing to fear. But then I awaken unto this hell, the fears I forsaken. Wish I could change, even replace it. We could remain stuck in the matrix. Now it's just pain. I gotta face it. On with the game. Was striving for greatness. My angels above. I pray for the blessing to grace me. And now I just wait for their love. Yo.
face above the water. My feet can't touch the ground, and it feels like I can see the sands on the horizon every time you are not around. Slowly drifting, wave after wave after wave. Slowly drifting, and it feels like I'm drowning, pulling against the street.
Yeah, wish I could make it easy, but everything around me feels so fucked. Dreaming in your eyes, I don't wanna wake up. Cause I gotta face the fact that you're gone now. You didn't make it back, can't calm down, no replacing that. Somehow we met on adjacent paths, and you found the light and embraced the task of the tears in my face. Ain't no masking it, life without you ain't so fabulous. Time goes by and you permit to strategy shit. Matter of fact, becomes an exception. Glad that I met you before you reach heaven. Remember my face and carry my blessing. I'm praying for carries to clear with depression. We're here, it's a blessing, and God is the kingdom, the power and glory. How are we stuck into this purgatory? Cause all I got left of these pictures and stories. And I'm missing you more, praying to see you when God come and call. Watching the process, feel like I'm falling, the ground coming closer, I bounce like a spalding. I miss you, so I smoke an ounce in the morning and count up the ways we to bounce in the morning. I'm out of my mind, now that I'm trying to pick up the pieces and leave. I get no close, just when I sleep, tracing your fragrance, still in the breeze. I wait for the moment, we can be free, facing atonement for all of my sins. The good die young and nothing is sweet, so.
Face above the water. My feet can't touch the ground, and it feels like I can see the sands on the horizon every time you are not around. Slowly drifting, wave after wave after wave. Slowly.
Yeah, so
Yeah, sorry about that.
heavy song, but I mean, you obviously killed it, and that was tough to work through too. And you handled it like a champ to be able to put it down the way that you did too. So it's great to get those feelings and emotions on a record. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Have the words come out to be able to say all that, and then
that
have that
hard.
Yeah.
I was so numb, man. The only reason I could get through it without like crying was that I felt numb, man, for months. I didn't. I almost couldn't, you know what I mean? Like I would cry alone and shit, but it was almost mechanical the way I was writing it. Like you could hear it just like so technically sound, but I almost couldn't get the emotion out of myself because I was numb, man, you know, the whole time. So that was a hell of a piece right there. Yeah.
For sure. I mean, I love that, but I also don't want to end on that note. There's another song too off the album that I want to play. That's called I forget. Is it Reach Out?
Yeah.
Reach Out, I think is the name of it.
Like I said, the album has a darker tone because of what I was going through, I guess.
But Reach Out to me is one of my favorites. Like as far as the
I was being very uplifting and positive most of the time when I could be. So I think this was one of those ones, man. I like this one. I fuck with this.
Hell yeah! But after this, when this song is all said and done, we're gonna say goodbye. So if you got any shout outs or last things you want to mention before we go, this will be your chance to get that in right now. So
shout out my friend Todd Burgess at Yes I Digital. Rest in peace, your mother, who passed away this week at Old Orchard. Really sorry, man. I love you, and I'm here for you. So shout out Yes I Digital. Shout out you, the Tri-Town, Maine. Shout out Tampa. Shout out Miami. Shout out Richmond, Virginia. Shout out Springfield, Mass, Holyoke, Lawrence. Shout out Boston. Shout out everybody I love and family, friends, and I hope everybody's getting through this pandemic okay. Anyways, so much going on. So
I also want to shout out our sponsors, MPC Stuff, I Regret Nothing Apparel, Fire on 4, obviously, and Elevate, which is now Elevate Audio Visual, and Bars Over Bars, obviously. They're our team, so we got to shout them out, and they always bring the hottest content. And so without further ado, we're going to run into the last track of the night, and we're going to say peace out to Rize for now.
Yeah, love you guys, man. Thank you for listening. You guys are the best, bro. Thank you.
And this song is called Reach Out, and look for this album to come
shout
out
remastered.
Glenn,
shout out Lucifer.
On look for this album to come out remastered sometime in June on all streaming platforms. Look for Rize 8. This song is called Reach Out.
Yeah, it's the resolve of Ava Peron and Martin Luther King Jr. going through you like the veins in your arm. We modern day slaves wasting lives, being patronized on the way to making your boss millions and die. So it's blind obedience, college job, feed the kids, grease a bitch, hoard it or die. It's obsolete again. Even when we try to change, the system tries to beat it in. Debt for your automobiles and for the ceiling bent over you. Know the truth, study it and focus too. It's easy to manipulate, miseducate the local crew, hold the boots to legislate leaders who reign over you, but really try to gain everything that you wanted to. Life is but a dream, it's all easy to be woken by the seeming of these madmen who never seem to know to stop giving it away like you're bagging up the groceries. It's time to make a change, and it starts with being open in the game. Somebody ought to just reach out and be. 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 I thought it couldn't get worse, but I was hardly in hell. They trying to catch me while I'm clocking like Harvey Keitel. This guy belt holds the world up, stomping on your tulips till they turn up. You probably never turn up. Once I observe it, my shit is astronomical. Swiss cheese, abdominals. Honestly, what is wrong with you? Can I just start at you? Tell me what your hustle like. I think you're close, but no cigar. You puff the pipe. I keep my muscle tighter in case I get stuck in Rikers. With the life is still the jungle, son. It's nothing nicest. Where the lions sleep, fiends streaming by your leak. It seems that they dying in their dreams of beside the street. Am I to speak like I'm better? Because I keep my head up through the weather, even when I'm getting fed up. Armageddon may be coming, but I'll never lay my head by the river. Once again, I'm not a quitter. My shit delivers what you have never heard. The police or the pigs, I couldn't pick a better word.
Somebody ought to just be kind of help me. Somebody ought to just be kind of help me.